Finish line. Get to moving, finish line. Cross that finish line. I'm a monster, I'm rude and black. Give me diamond watch, give me platinum plaque. I'm a goon or something, I make do with that. Ain't here to small talk, don't need the chat. Know that I was made in the lab. The scientist screaming, oh my god. Give him swagger, a Tone Beach vibe. Let him hit the streets, let them die. What I mean to be great when you at halftime. When you're 20 years old, never had a touchdown. When you lose a control, all your brother's been gone. You're confused, you're alone, never earned you a dime.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Just Saying Podcast. This is our third episode of the Just Saying Podcast. Of course, I am Fervent Jackson Jr. along with my beautiful sister, my sister from another mother, Larissa, aka Lo. We are back with y'all on this special Saturday edition of the Just Saying Podcast. We're doing conversations. Everybody say, how's the walking this way and just saying? Well, here on the Just Saying Podcast, we're going to have more conversation. We're going to have some in-depth conversation. We're not gonna be doing a lot of interview. We want to have some adult conversation. Right. Iron sharpen iron. That's really going to help benefit all of us. The same is we want to have a better version of ourselves. But anyway, so
the real talk, the real person, who we really are. That's what we want. We want to not just appeal to people in my age group is in the 40s, 45, but I don't want to just, we talked about this here. We want to appeal to the younger group as well, because hey, when they talked about, the future is our young people, they are not lying. That is what our future is. So thank you guys for participating and coming on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you very much. Fervent, did you want to introduce okay, so tell us what you guys are about.
All right. Well, I'm Derrick, and to my right is my beautiful wife Joi, and we're the Phalos. And so we have a mission that we're on to actually inspire other young people, old people to get married, to embrace marriage.
People that are married, don't run away. Right, marriage is a beautiful thing.
To stay in marriage.
Yes. And not just to get married, to say you married.
Yeah, be married.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that.
You don't get married, be married. I don't even worry about it. Yeah.
Amen to that. Amen to that. I always thought that, in order to have a successful marriage, you have to be friends. You have to be friends. You have to know who each other is, in order to have a successful marriage. So that is beautiful.
I agree.
I love that. Yes.
I agree. I agree, Lo, with that 1,000%. Because I heard David Banner said on the interview with Shannon Sharp, his mentor told him, never do business with a man that cheats on his wife. And he said he never thought about that. Because he's saying if a man cheats on his wife and he can't be honest with her, he won't be honest with other things. And that made him look at stuff different. When I heard that, that was like, that really does make sense. And understanding what marriage is all about, I do believe it. Well, I'm not married, but I do believe that marriages can be successful. It takes two willing people to make it work. One person cannot do it all. It's stressful. It's stress. But the main thing I want to do is get into concept on what makes a marriage. And this the title. Actually, Larissa came up with the title. She wanted to talk about cultivating a friendship while in a marriage. Because she did mention that you should be each other's friend, which I do agree. You should be each other's best friend in a marriage. And y'all are experts in that. So that y'all elaborate at the points of friendship when it comes to marriage. Not walk around eggshells. You got to be honest with each other. I believe that. That's your ace boo coon, Bunny and Clyde, right? Right. Ride shotgun. You know what I'm saying? So
That's funny that you say that, because a lot of people don't believe that your spouse can be your best friend, because they feel that you need to have your own individuality, which is true. But Derrick and I are pretty much, we are good friends. We are best friends. I do have a best friend that, of course, I talk girl things with, but Derrick is my best friend. We talk about everything under the sun. We've been married for 11 years. And
wonderful.
Yes, congrats.
Yeah, so I'll rewind it back for you a little bit. So Derrick and I have been married.
Tell me how you met. Let's start from the beginning. How did you guys meet?
Go ahead.
Well, the thing about how we met is really our families have always known each other, so we've never actually been strangers to one another. So there was no actual meeting of sorts. But our courtship began basically because we, by happenstance, ended up at a mutual friend's house, and we kind of just hit it off from there, and we've essentially been inseparable. It didn't really take a long time for us to decide that we wanted to be with one another. Because
hold up, Derrick. Repeat that one more time. Repeat what you just said.
It didn't really take a long time for us to decide that we wanted to be with one another.
Okay, let me ask you this. I'm glad you brought that up. Why take people 5-10 years to do something like that? I'm okay. I'm just going for it because like you mentioned, you knew, right?
Yeah.
You just knew and made it happen.
We knew. Yeah. We knew.
Yeah, y'all knew.
Right.
But why do people hesitate when it comes to that? Like, don't help me with that. I'm glad you brought that up.
I think it's more men than women.
Right.
I think the women are willing to do whatever the man will ask of her, if he's willing to ask her. But a lot of the guys are just undecided, for whatever their reasons. And I can't really speak for no other man, but I do know that for the most part, women are groomed to want to be married and think they dream of this type of stuff, the weddings and being somebody's wife and all that type of stuff. And men nowadays, especially my generation, I'm gonna speak it for myself, right? And it's gonna be some people that can relate with my story. I'm gonna make it personal. I wasn't groomed to be nobody's husband. You see what I'm saying? Like the way me and my cousins was being reared, it was almost we was being schooled to be whoremongers, if you will.
Oh yeah.
They were, how many girlfriends you got, boy? You know what I mean? Is you doing this? Is you active? I know we trying to be Christian people, so I ain't.
No, you good. Hey, it's all about being real, keeping it real.
Right.
Like
is you messing around yet? That type of stuff. Like, so we were encouraged to have multiple girlfriends and stuff like that. So me wanting to be somebody's husband was more about me maturing as a man and understanding who and what I wanted to be in the world. You see what I'm saying? And what I wanted to stand for, And so again, my whole thing with Joi was like our circumstances led us to one another. And so it didn't take a whole lot of, convincing me after, we courted out after our courtship, and we spent every moment that we could trying to getting to know each other, going through that discovery process, getting to know who she is and what she was about, and her getting to know me and what I stood for, and was like, let's just do it and we'll figure the rest of it out. And here we are 11 years later still,
Man, that's what's up.
That is a blessing.
Yes, it is.
That is a blessing. I will say that is a blessing, and I pray that you guys continue on the path that you guys are on, because
it's a blessing. I hear what something you're getting at. It's a blessing, but it's been a journey too. Now let me just say that it ain't been
trust me, I know.
Yeah, it ain't. What was my man's name? Langston Hughes. He had the poem saying, "My life for me ain't been no crystal stair. This marriage ain't been no crystal stair." Now you know what I mean.
I know.
Without a doubt. Yeah.
It's been some topsy-turvy. We done broke up by 50-11 times.
Oh yeah.
But it's normal.
I mean, it is normal. It is normal. It is normal. I definitely.
And I apologize for cutting you off right there. I got a little impulsive. I just wanted to get that out there though. Like, shoot, I want to keep it clean, like you say.
Oh no, I say keep it real. I mean, that's what it's all about anyway.
This is what it is. This segment is about being real about everything. Normal segments that we have is basically interviews that we talk about that is talked about so that people are aware. But this interview in particular, we want people to understand the realness of it.
Yeah.
And that's the only way for people to understand. Personally, I've been married since so I met my husband in 1998.
Okay.
Since I was 18. It took us 7 years to get married. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I think like the last year I was afraid. I was afraid, honestly. And I heard what you said when you talked about women has this dream of being married, but I was not one of those persons. I was never one of those persons. I did not want to be married. I did not even want to have children. But meeting this every single thing, it made me think of something else. I learned what love was, and that changed everything for me. We're still married to this day. I'm not going to say things are perfect because they are most definitely not.
Mm-hmm.
We are going through something very traumatic right now, but we are still married, and I value my vows 100%. Herman, they know, and I know my husband probably would be very upset, but sometimes you have to talk to people, and because I keep my circle so small, I have no other choice. A lot of therapists, I know people be like, oh, talk to a therapist, but what I have learned when I have talked to therapists, we don't relate. I don't relate to certain people. But one thing I will say, and it's something that Herman brought to my attention, because I was feeling really, really down. And he was like, you know what, Lo, you had a successful marriage. No matter how much you want to say, or no matter how much it has happened or what has happened, our marriage has been successful. Now, a lot of people would look at our marriage and be like, well, there was no infidelity, so what's the problem? Oh, it doesn't even matter if there was no infidelity. There are other things that can destroy a marriage. There are other things that can destroy a marriage. And I think that a lot of people don't realize that. And I realized that.
What's one thing that you think is the number one problem in a marriage? I'm just curious.
For me, it was never financial. It was never a financial thing. For a lot of people that I have talked to, it was financial. But for me in particular, it was never a financial thing. I think for me, as people get older, we change, and we are constantly changing. And with that change, we realize that sometimes we are not the same people that we met initially.
Yeah.
Within my marriage. And that's all I have to say about that, because it's nothing else. Respect is one of those major things. Respect is one of those major things. I think a lot of people, and I hate to say men, but a lot of men are very particular about respect, but they forget that women deserve respect just as well.
What does that look like?
So for me, respect is this. If I'm insecure about something, if I need protection in a way where my husband can only provide, that's what that looks like to me. And that shows me that he doesn't respect me as much as what I thought he did. Um, it might, like I said, it might sound petty for some people, but for me, it was a big deal. I used to tell him all the time, small things would end up being a huge thing. Um, and we have to address those small things when they happen. We have to. Um, One of those things, my husband has never not known any of my friends. He has always known my friends. And this is just an example. Okay. He has always known my friends. He's known Herman. He's known his wife. And we will get on Herman as well. And what he has gone through. His wife, my best friend, and these are people that I've known since I was 14 years old. Okay. Um, my friend Galton and Shantae, who I've worked with, but I've known her for so many years. We've taken family vacations and everything. These are people that he knows. But when it comes to me, I do not know his friends. So I asked them one day. I said, I think he thought I was trying to be funny, but I really wasn't. Because over time, you realize, hey, it's not that big of a deal. This is something that I just want to know. And if you are not able to communicate with me about that, and I guess it boils down to communication. But if you're not able to communicate with me, then we don't have anything to talk about, because all it's going to do is create resentment, arguments, going around in a circle. I remember one thing he told me was, when we talk about things, it's in a circle. And I've already answered that. So you don't have to, like, why are you bringing this up? Because I was hurt, because I've been hurt. So I feel like if I'm hurt, then, and I'm not asking you to stew in my hurt, but I'm asking you to be there for me when I am hurt. Okay, what can I do for you while you are hurt? Is there anything that I can do? Because there were some things that were very questionable that I did not like from my husband. Now, mind you, my husband is a great father, and by no means I will ever allow our children to talk about him, to disrespect him. None of that. Zero. That is off the table. They will never do that. And they don't. They do not. And even when things go wrong with me, as far as physical, if I'm sick, the first person they call the father. But I'll use this for an example. When my husband, he left for about 30 days at an Airbnb because he said he was too stressed. Okay, well, I actually can get that. But the thing was, you needed to talk to me about it. And I would be okay with that. I would have been okay with that if you had discussed that with me at first. But I told this man, hey, I think that somebody's trying to case out my home because I'm hearing the garage door opening and my room is directly above the garage door. And I'm like, something is going on. Now, mind you, we live here. So, I don't have any issues with protecting myself or protecting my children. I think he thought that I was trying to get attention, which I was not. And I was like, why would you even think that? I have never, ever thought that. I have never, ever been that way. Ever. Ever. Like, seriously, you have known. Like, I remember one time he played a joke on me.
Marissa, I gotta be upfront with you because we're keeping it real, right?
Yeah, we keeping it real.
So as a man, I must admit that I am a little bit uncomfortable with you sharing such intimate details about your husband in such a specific way. You know, I ain't gonna lie to you about that.
No. Go ahead. Because I was just as guilty as a whole bunch of other stuff as well.
Because I would have, if it was just we were just speaking in a general sense, it would be okay. But this being such a public thing, you know, I want to see y'all's marriage still be sustainable. I don't want this. I don't want this thing to be something that becomes an issue later for you too. You see what I'm saying? Well, he sees this and say, "Well, why you got on there? And you said this, that." I don't want that for you, sister. So, you know, just as a man, this does make me a little bit uncomfortable. I'm just going to be honest with you about that. And I think I would be remiss if I didn't express myself about it.
It's very okay for you.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to be, you know.
But I can't speak on other people's situation because I don't know their situation. So
right, absolutely.
I do understand where you're coming from. I definitely understand where you're coming from. All I'm just saying is respect goes both ways.
Absolutely.
It just do not go because he says he's a man or a man says that they are a man. Respect goes both ways.
Yes, right.
100%.
Yeah, and I just wanted you for you know just to give clarity to when you say respect, it may look different to everybody. Yeah. So I was wanting you to basically just give me an example of to you what respect would look like in relationship. You know, that's or a lack thereof. And I guess you were giving me the lack thereof. But yeah, that's all I really wanted from you. So
yeah. No,
I appreciate you. I appreciate you sharing what you shared.
No, I understand. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I was the pillar of greatness. You know, I was a good wife. I was a great. I'm not gonna sit here and knock myself and say that I was a horrible wife because that's not who I was. I did not. There was no infidelity. I took care of my children. I took care of my household. I was his helpmate. That was one thing that we did. That was one thing that I believe as a wife, you are supposed to be a helpmate towards your husband, and vice versa.
I believe words are powerful.
Yeah,
you keep using a past tense and saying was. You are a wife. Not was now. Keep that thing present now.
Yeah, keep it present. Yeah,
that's right.
You know, I agree with that. You know, I see your wife there. I was married to my wife. Now I've been married twice. Okay.
Gotcha.
And now when you hear that, you say, okay, he's been married twice. What happened? Okay. Well, I was a good husband, but at the same time, you know, my wife was not a good wife. The wife that I was married to, my first wife. Okay, she decided to cheat. Now, that all pushed to the side, moved on. All right, I met a beautiful woman named Lakeisha.
I love her.
All right, me and Lakeisha ended up getting married. We had 3 beautiful children. And she was the love of my life. You know, we go through things in life that are hurtful. And but at the same time, we have to still be able to understand that this is a person that has feelings, just like you have feelings. Nobody's the same, you know. When you go in the bathroom, your toothbrush is probably a different color than your wife's toothbrush. You know, not because you're going to confuse yours with hers, but that may be your favorite color, and her color may be another color. You know, so but when I was married to Keisha, we met. She met. I had already known Lo. All right, and so my wife met Lo, and they were like instant friends, just like quick friends. They cared about each other, and it was always great. Yeah. Unfortunately, my wife passed away back in 2016 from leukemia. All right. All right. So We did not get a divorce. God decided to take her, and she suffered. She suffered a lot. However, I'm not trying to say stuff like that to make anybody sad or feel sorry for me.
I'm gonna step away.
But the thing is, I basically try to let people know that being married to someone, like I see your beautiful wife there, I feel the love for you guys. I don't look at her face. She smiles when you say stuff. She's looking at you and all that. And that what she was talking about, the respect thing. There it is right there. I'm looking right at it. I'm looking right at that respect.
Appreciate that, man. I mean,
that you guys both have for each other. And now I'm dating someone. We're talking about getting married and all that. And we've been dating now for about 3 years. Now, what I heard him say at the beginning, yeah. Don't wait so long. You're going to do it. I mean, I'm 63 years old.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I've been knowing this young lady here since she was like 14 years old, and we've always been close friends. And I've seen, before she met her husband, I've seen other guys that was just not the match for her. And it so happens that this guy came around and he was the match. And I was like, hey, here he is. There's your husband. She ended up marrying him, and now they have children together, which is wonderful. But sometimes we can get a little extreme with the personality stuff or person stuff. We don't want to go overboard with it, but at the same time, we want people to know where our hurt is coming from and our pain.
Yeah, right. And she's well within her right to be able to express her feelings about, how something affects her. I mean, I don't want to. Again, I wasn't trying to take that from you, Larissa.
No, I understand.
But I think you understood what I was getting.
And then whenever I talk about Keisha, she gets emotional because
I do.
She was so close to my wife. They were like two peas in a pod.
That's my sister.
And so,
I'm telling you, when my friend Galton and Herman got married, their wives were like my sisters. And both of their wives died, and it hurt me so freaking bad. It hurt me so bad that they passed away. So it is what it is.
Can I jump in and say something really quick? Because this brings us to what our ministry is all about, right? So We Change Everything is a ministry for married people. You may not believe in therapy. A lot of people don't. Let's be real. A lot of African American men do not believe in therapy for whatever reason. They feel like they don't need to go. That's fine.
I'm not one of those because we've been.
But
you're right.
But the first therapy that we need, and it ain't no therapy, is who wake us up every morning, right? Putting God first. God is out of everything. You have to keep God at the center of your marriage, or it won't work. I don't care what nobody say. It will not work if you do not have God in your marriage. So God gave me the vision in January. He gave me all the instructions for We Change Everything. And I had no idea what I was even doing, how it was even going to work. And I talked to my husband about it. I said, this is what's going on. This is what happened. And he was like, okay. I said, now I got to see when we're going to launch. Right. God gave me all the instructions on when we were to launch, and he said it's going to be on your 11th year wedding anniversary, and it was May the 29th. So we are a blended family. This is my second marriage. We have no kids together. This has not been easy, but guess what? We are still here. Derrick and I met on April the 6th. He moved in April 19th. And guess what? We got married May 29th. Seriously.
Yeah. That's my grandbaby to see you.
And I'm not going to say that everybody marriage, it worked that soon. But when you have someone that know what they want, the third day after we talked, I told him, I said, look, if I had my first child at 15. I married at 19. I divorced at 23. Go look my book up, 15, 19, 23. We'll talk about that on the next podcast. On another note, that's what happened.
You told me what? You told me what in the beginning after the third day.
After the third day, I told him, I said, hey, listen, this is my second marriage, and I've been through so much. And I just told him I kind of gave him a little list, and then he kind of gave me a little list, and our list went together, and we got married. If we're gonna be together, if we're gonna be living together, staying together, we might as well get married. And that's what we did. And you were absolutely right, Lo. People change, but guess what? Seasons change.
People change for the people that they want to be with.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Who I am today.
A man will change for the woman he want to be with.
Right.
Wait. Say again.
A man will change for the woman he want to be with.
Oh, okay.
He won't change for no anybody.
Okay. Right. And that's, you know what? At the end of the day, that's what I'm saying.
That's exactly right.
And I can tell you that this man and my other friend has been there to just see it. Now, I don't normally, this is really like Herman, and Galton is literally my go-to. They are the only ones. And now you, now you guys, like, I don't talk about my marriage like that. I do not. I do not. That is something that I don't. But I do understand that if you do not, it will eat you up. It will eat you up, and you will, if you don't talk about things that are hurting you, you're done. You're like, you will be just, it's not good. It's not a good thing. Therapy, like you said, doesn't work for everybody.
Well, I think it's finding the right person, because I think there's someone out there for everyone. I mean, there's someone. That's just what I believe, and we all have different views and values about things. But I just truly believe if you pray and ask God, but first of all, before you pray and ask God, you got to believe. You got to believe it, because if you really want your marriage to work, it can work. Marriages work. Matter of fact, check out our episode that was titled "Marriage is Work, but it's worth it." It's on YouTube. It is work, and it just depends on how you. If that's something that you want to do, you know.
Also, I want to also add the fact that because it'd be kind of crazy not to mention the fact that we're doing a marriage retreat.
Right.
And the whole point of the marriage retreat is to actually bring married people into a room who can then sort of share thoughts and experiences about marriage, in the hope that by all of us coming in there, we can kind of, through osmosis, help each other's marriages, if you will.
Right. And learn from each other.
And learn from one another through the experiences and downfalls and pits, ups and downs that people have went through and encountered, and the journeys that God has taken them on through their marriage and their union.
Right.
Actually help one another. So we all in there helping each other. So we all going to leave there with tools.
Right. You guys are a glowing example as Pete. Really.
It's interesting because
I said you guys are a glowing example of what people need to hear and what they need to see when it comes down to marriage.
Thank you.
I really
and it's beautiful. And it's beautiful.
Yeah. Right.
But you know what? 11 years ago, I thought the same thing. I mean, I'm trying to think the same thing right now, but it's very hard. It is very hard. We have been together for almost 27 years. Mm-hmm. So it is very hard. I've been with this man since I was 18 years old. Right. So, it's very difficult. We were that couple where people were like, oh my God, I want my marriage. I'll never forget one of the best things that one of the best compliments that our oldest son said. He said, because he was getting ready to go off to university. And we were like, hey, when you go out there, have fun, make sure you study, go on different dates, have fun. And he told us, he said, no, Mom, I don't want that. I don't want to go on different dates. I want to be like you. I want to be like you guys. That's what I want. I want a marriage. I want to have a relationship like you guys have a relationship. That's what I want. I don't want to be out there and dating different women and that this and the third. I don't want that. And I can see it. I can see it. We have 3 children, and it literally is the same with all of them. It literally is the same with all of them. So I just can't praise enough because I can't do it by myself. Of course not. There was no doing it by myself. It had everything to do with my husband. It had everything to do with him because no way I could have done that without him. Mm-hmm. There are so many great qualities about him. I just feel like that when you take certain vows, you got to go with them. You got to go with them through sickness and health. Through sickness and health, you got to be there for them.
Yeah, I want to tell you something
that I do know to be an absolute fact, that there's nothing that I can do personally that's going to change Joy. And so I can't really focus on trying to change Joy. I can focus on changing me.
Yeah.
So if there's a thing that Joy does that bothers me, then I have to find a way to be able to change how I approach that thing, as far as my attitude, as far as my actions, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, all I have control over is myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Joy can control the behavior. So what I can do is I can find a more effective way to communicate what it is that Joy's doing that's bothering me in hopes that she will change. But at the end of the day, she has to choose to change the behavior. I can't do it for her. She has to do it. So the communication has to be there between you all.
Right, because
if it means finding them or going out and learning how to be a more effective communicator. And I've read tons of books on communication. I know how to talk about it. I don't know how to do nothing else in the world. But I haven't always been the most effective communicator when it comes to my wife. You see what I'm saying? Because there's stuff that she's communicating with me. Maybe it's because she's a woman and y'all want us to read y'all minds or whatever. But sometimes I miss it. You know what I mean? But I have to take that.
Yeah, read between the lines.
But I don't always get it. You know what I'm saying? So, sometimes the communication line isn't always perfect. You know what I mean? Sometimes the dial tone might be messed up when you're trying to talk to them. But we got I'm not trying to make light of your situation.
No. It's a serious matter.
But you know what? I like how Mr. West said communication is a key element of a marriage. So that's very profound. So I like when Gregory West said communication is a very key element of a marriage. But I'm going to go biblical for a moment. I'm going to go biblical for a moment. I'm going to Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 5. It says this: when a man had taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he has taken. So when Moses was talking about that, that's when that time y'all should be getting to know each other. Don't do any no type of business. Don't do anything. Just be at home for 1 year. You get to know your wife. Your wife get to know you, because you building to something there.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So when Moses was saying that, because think about when people take on a marriage, they don't really get to know each other like that because we so occupied doing other things. So Moses was saying when y'all first get married, don't do anything that first year. That's that year that y'all should begin acquainted.
That's right.
With each other, because you're building a bond there.
Yeah.
You becoming a dynasty. You building a championship team. Just like we said, communication. Man, y'all so in tune with each other. Y'all body language, you can tell a different person's body language. If that makes sense,
of course.
Right?
That's how in depth we have to be. That's why he was saying, be at home for 1 year. Don't do any outside work. Y'all just getting to know each other. Y'all getting a bond with each other. Relationship. We gotta learn how to relate before it become a ship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can't have a ship. We can't relate.
Correct.
So,
go
ahead.
I mean, you're absolutely right. I was like last night. Okay, me and my girlfriend, we went to the casino last night. Okay.
Y'all didn't invite me.
Well, I was on the phone with you, but so we went to the casino last night.
I'm gonna call Marie right now and ask her why she ain't calling me.
So we get to the casino, and hey, man, I'm hitting. I'm winning. Every time I put some money in the machine, I'm winning 200, 300, 400. So I'm winning, all right? Every time she put money in the machine, she's losing. So I'm trying my best to encourage her to keep.
Hey, Herman, can I show you something right quick? He froze up.
Her spirit, because she was constantly losing. Now, like what you were talking about a while ago about trying to understand what your person is feeling right now. So I was doing everything in my power to try to understand my person. You see what I'm saying? And not let her be more upset with the fact she's losing.
Absolutely.
Right, because
I would say I walked over to her where she was at because the stop machine she was on, and I basically tried to give her a receipt that I had where I could get the money out, and I gave the receipt to her, but she said it ran over her button and it bet $5 instead of the little 50 cents she was trying to bet, and it made her lose all her money.
Oh man!
All right.
So hold on, you was encouraging her to keep losing. You kept encouraging her to put the money in that shit.
Yeah. So I'm
just joking.
All right, yeah, I know what you mean. But I'm trying.
All right, Fervent, throw us another question.
Okay, but I was going to say, so I know you kept. At the end of the day, don't say because she was. At the end of the day, she say we both win, even though it may look like you're, but we're both winning because we are to complement each other. We complement one another, so we're not losing. I win, you win. You win, I win. That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right, because I do believe this. You're supposed to motivate, inspire, and hold each other accountable at the end of the day. We're supposed to bring the best out of each other. I do believe that. That's just in my own little world. Everybody thinks different, but I believe that we should
No, you're right. You're
out of each other. And it takes two willing people. Like I was saying earlier, it takes two willing people to make a thing work. Because I was listening to what you were saying, because you can't do it by yourself. It takes two willing people to make a thing work. You know what I'm saying? And you can't do it by yourself. I can't do it myself. But it just takes two willing people and having a vision. Y'all mentioned something about growth. Growth is awesome. And then when you were speaking, Derrick and Joi, when y'all was speaking everything about the scripture, you said to let the wheat and tare grow together. But who do the separation? God gonna do the separation. A lot of times we got a lot of tare growing with the wheat,
but
God's gonna do the separation. Does that make sense? Hit me on that.
Oh yeah. And I think that's why my marriage with like I said, we didn't initially get married at first, but even our relationship was great initially. And when we got married, you could tell it was so crazy because you could tell God was there. Oh my God. When we got married, it felt so different. It felt so different. I was like, God, and I remember this conversation just like yesterday. And I was like, Damon, oh, did I mention that man name? I was like, David. I said, oh Lord. I said, listen. I said, dude, do you not realize that we are having such a great marriage right now? I said, because we are doing things right. We are doing things right. Even though we were best friends. Initially, we became best friends throughout the years. We got to learn each other. And then he asked the question. We waited a year before we got married. Don't ask me why. I like it. That was on me. Because I guess I don't know why, but it was just in me. Even though we were together forever, but I just felt like things were like moving and such a great direction, but still over time, I think that, and this isn't for everybody. I'm not saying this is for everybody because everybody is different. Okay. I'm just speaking on my own situation. And he knows how I feel. Like he knows how I feel, and he knows that I'm a strong woman, and he knows that I will speak on the things that I talk about. Now I'm not gonna disrespect him, but I will never allow anybody else to disrespect that man. I don't care who you are. I don't care if we're divorced. I don't care if we're together. I will never ever allow another person to disrespect that man. Okay, period. 100%. Not his family, not his children, not his friends, not I don't care who you are. You're gonna hear my mouth. That's just who I am. I'm just not gonna do it. But I just believe that at a certain age, I really blame social media, to tell you the truth. That whole watching, and remember we were talking about this whole red pill, blue pill crap.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about all these things that men are supposed to be doing or whatever the case may be. I think that really had a lot to do with it.
Well, it comes back. Hold on, Lo. We got a question too in the comment section. We'll get right there because we got a question. They asked about. They said, "Hey, y'all, can y'all share with us more about the marriage retreat?" So we got a question in the comment section. So, but we're gonna get back to that. So we want to get with them too. So,
yes,
y'all the marriage retreat. You see it? We got a question.
Yes. So the marriage retreat is November 7th, 8th, and 9th in Hoover, Alabama. It's going down. This is a time for husbands and wives, no matter if you're newlyweds, I don't care if you've been married for 50 years, we want you there. Yeah. However long you've been there, we want you there. Basically, life be life.
It be life.
And how many people actually take time to say, you know what, no phones, no work calls, no this and that. We gonna take time for ourselves. You may do it once a year. You might do it once a year, But anyway, it's just a time for, and even if your marriage is good, it can get better.
Oh yeah,
it's not for people.
Always room for improvement.
That's
right.
And then too, you may be able to pour into somebody else's life. You know what I mean? Through your good marriage and all the good things that's going on with you, and all of the lessons that you learned through some type of turmoil or some type of adversity or something you went through. Or whatever it is, if it's just been all good, and tell me how I can get good for me too.
No, you're right. You're absolutely correct.
So that Friday night, we're gonna have a meet and greet. We're gonna play games. We're gonna have a panel discussion with the different levels of marriage, from newlyweds to the oldest couple that's been married there. That Saturday, we're gonna have breakout sessions. The men gonna do their own thing. The women gonna do their own thing. We're gonna take pictures. We're going to be. You'll have free time.
We're gonna eat.
We're gonna eat, yeah.
We're gonna get fed too, and nobody starve.
So you'll have free time to go out and tour the city of Hoover, Alabama. And if you're an Alabama fan, they playing LSU.
Roll Tide.
Yeah,
Roll Tide all day, every day. Roll Tide all day, every day.
Those who don't know, Hoover is a suburb.
I was born in Louisiana.
You're gonna be in the city.
Right.
Okay.
I was born in Louisiana.
Then that Saturday evening, we're gonna have a gala. We're gonna have a sit-down dinner. We're gonna take pictures.
Yeah,
we're gonna have good.
We're gonna get a little bougie with it too. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm glad y'all brought that up. So keeping the fire going, putting in the work. Guys gotta learn how to be more romantic. That's another thing. Guys are not being more romantic when it comes to their wives. In the beginning, they did, but now you should be romantic. Candlelight dinner at home, rose petals everywhere. All right, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you brought the romance. Are y'all gonna teach how to keep that romance going? It's just more to say I's married now, but keeping that fire going, that passion going. We're
gonna touch everything. We're touching everything. And we're gonna have a panel that Friday night. We're having an open panel discussion. So we're talking about everything. And again, that Friday, that Saturday when we have our breakout sessions, the men are gonna talk about what they want to talk about. The women gonna talk about what they gonna talk about, and then we're gonna come together. We're gonna have a spokesperson from the men and say, hey, basically letting women, y'all stop nagging so much, because women are naggy. Some of them are.
Yeah, like
I'm sorry. I come from law enforcement. I've known so many men that nag so much. Oh my God.
I mean, you probably do. You probably do. They're probably controlling. Probably the men that are controlling. Those are the ones that I know that are the nagging controlling. But then it's gonna be that spokesperson for the women. It's gonna be like, okay, men, you need to surprise your wife. You need to, you know what I'm saying? You need to bring her flowers every now and then. You need to surprise her on date night. And I'm not really saying him like I'm trying to tell him something.
Right.
I'm just saying, I just need to let the audience
take the initiative.
I'm saying this, so, but you have women.
She's sending some hints.
I know when she for real, when she gets stuck like a general thing. I'll catch it. I'm trying to keep a neutral face and not let her know what I know.
She's telling you.
But take the initiative.
So it's gonna be good. So it's gonna be everything up under the sun series, and this is our first one. So we are super excited. We have 10 spots left. I'm just saying. So if you're watching this and you like, hey.
Yeah, how far is Birmingham from Dallas?
Cause sound like you need to be.
I don't know, but I think I might.
9 hours. It took me 9 hours to get
there.
About 800-900 miles.
No, but
you can get on interstate. I think 20 will take you all the way there. You ain't got to
fly.
I-20 take you all the way there, straight shot.
But if you fly, it's like an hour and something to fly.
I need to take a trip. You know what? My family, like my grandmother's family, is from Alabama. I'm trying
Everybody got some family from Alabama. That's right.
I think they're from but then they migrated to Louisiana, Houma. So
thank you.
That's hey.
I'm replying to the comments. Thank you. We are very excited about our first marriage retreat.
I want to talk about the whole communicating. But I read this in the book by Dr. Miles Monroe. He talk about manhood, and it make a lot of sense. Okay, like when y'all ask how our day is, y'all want to explain when we got up, when we wash our face. Y'all want to know everything. We'll just say it was good, but y'all want to know it. But anyway, what Dr. Monroe was saying, your wife wants to be a part of your day-to-day life. She wants to be a part of something. That's why she asked how your day. She wants to be a part of. We say, oh, it was good, but she wants to be a part of it. So when y'all say how your day is,
absolutely correct.
You want to explain, okay, this is what happened today. This is what happened today. We did this today, but we so always say, oh, it was good, but we help me out with this. I'm just saying.
Okay,
So what is your question? What's your direct question?
My direct question is the communication. When she asked how your day was, we say it was good, right? But to explain, okay, she wants to explain. She's a part of it. Y'all one flesh now, so it's explaining what the day was because she wants to be a part of something.
I know what you're saying. I get the idea of what you're getting at. So you're asking me what now? Then,
like the whole
directed to me.
No, it's no for anybody that want to answer.
Just general,
it's just general question about the communication, like.
So
I said something about reading between the lines, but the communication part. Go ahead.
I feel you. I'm sorry to interrupt you for a minute, but I remember a situation that I was in, and this person was making beautiful music, and it had contracts on the table, and I asked to hear it, to be a part of it. I was told no. Now I can be aggressive, like I know that's my personality. Like that's who I was when you met me. You knew this when you met me, so it was never like, oh, you were so sweet, and you were like, no. No, I've always been on top of things when it came to no, you're not gonna take advantage of me or the people that I love or the people that I am friends with. No, you're not going to do that. But, and I just took it. I left it alone because this person told me, hey, I want to do it by myself. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. But I'm not going to lie. It made me feel some type of way. It made me feel some type of way about it. And on the flip side, to make it up to me, it was around my birthday, and I know we talked about romance. I saw something on Instagram that was so pretty. It was like a room that was made up. I was like, oh my God, look at this here. It's so pretty. I did not think this person was looking at this here at all. Well, apparently my daughter and they were on it. And it was like, we got a surprise for you. Well, he was like, I got a surprise for you, I was like, what is it? And it was the exact replica of what the hotel room looked like. And when I tell you, I cried so much because I was like, he actually listened to what I said. Because, prior to me dating my husband, I just feel like, men who always give gifts all the time, it don't seem like it's like natural. It just did not seem natural. But when he did that, when I tell you this here, it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. And I was so happy. And all those things, when he told me, it just disappeared. When he was like, no, I want to do it on my own, it disappeared. I was like, oh, okay. Well, then that's cool. Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you. What did it say? I know you mentioned about 15, 1923. Do you and Derrick have published books together? If so, what are they? Okay.
That sounds like that's coming from an author, maybe. And we do. Y'all gonna have to give me a minute because I'm gonna have to go grab them because I did not grab them to have them close to me. But so Derrick and I, we have a devotional. We have a 31-day devotional because again, we keep God at the forefront, at the core of our marriage. So it's just a 31-day devotional. You wake up every morning and you pray. There's an affirmation and there is a scripture to go along with it. Then we have.
Where were you guys at when I needed you? I needed y'all a long time ago.
We're still
here.
I needed y'all at the beginning because talking about God and bringing that within the household. Let me tell you guys something that is so important, and I did not realize how important that was until later on in life. It was so important, and I realized it then how important it was. If I could go back in time and say,
but you know what, Lo?
We need to do this here as a family.
But
we need to do this with our kids.
What you say?
When she finished, up in the time in on what you about to hear to say. But
yes,
go ahead and finish.
Because my children, like right now, please and look, don't judge my children, okay? Because I'm a mama bear, okay? Don't judge my kids. I'm a mama bear because they have their own opinions, and everybody will find their own way to God at one point in time. But just like my daughter, like we did not raise them in the church. We did not. That was something we could not agree on. My son found his fiance, who was such a good girl. She wasn't initially, but we talked to her. This is when my husband and I were together. This is when my husband and I were talking to her about things, and she took it to heart. And when I tell you she took it to heart and she went all the way out, she encouraged my oldest son, and it was beautiful. And now they have found God. They get their children involved. It is great. My middle child, she took that path on her own. She was like, no, I need to find God on my own. Let me find God. And
so
that is exactly what she did.
So what you waiting on?
Oh, no. I'm doing it.
Oh.
I'm doing it.
You said the kids eventually they still found God.
And you will. Eventually you will. You will. God.
Right.
But my youngest son, he has a lot of questions. And I can only blame myself. And I'm not, I can't speak for my husband, but I know he blames himself as well. But that's something that we should have done as parents. We should have.
You know what? It's never too late.
I mean, you still can be a God in life for him.
It's
by
never
being
too late.
An example, being that example for him by doing what you need to do.
So this is what I want you to do.
Doing what you know is the right thing to do.
I want you to go and purchase this book off of Amazon, or either if you would like a signed copy from Derrick and I. This is our We Change Everything Through Prayer. It's 31 days of affirmation and devotional. And if you want your marriage to work, look at me, Larissa. If you want your marriage to work,
I do.
Well, you gotta believe it. You gotta speak those things. You gotta change it, because guess what? The woman is really the prayer warrior. Really. The woman is the one that,
but this hat was resentment towards me.
You lie about that.
And then
you wouldn't see me on this screen right now if it wasn't for her praying for me.
Then we have this. My background is not.
We keeping it real, ain't it?
We are keeping it real. Look. I do not get offended.
I want you to get this one. It's called Building the Power Couple. This is a guided journal. You're literally going to go through this book, and y'all are going to do some reflection. Y'all are going to do some communication. Y'all are going to talk about some things that how did y'all start from the beginning? And you're going to bring those things up. It sounds like two people that were, because I feel like we've done a marriage counseling session right here. I feel like this is what so let me just go ahead, because I've been quiet for a minute. My husband been doing all the talking, but I can't stay here and keep being quiet.
Tell me, sister, go ahead.
Because what I need you to do, if you want your husband, I need you to first identify what's triggering you, what's inside of you, that trauma that's inside of you. I need you to heal and find yourself. I need you to find yourself. Then you're going to be praying, and your husband is going to be the one to see you doing the change, because guess what? We change everything. See, it was first a she changed everything, because I have an organization. She changed everything because I was 15 years old when I had my son. And I wanted to encourage teen moms. I still do.
That's why me too.
I still do, but that's not my focus right now in this season. It's about we change everything right now. So you get yourself together, and you don't worry about what he did yesterday, or what he did 3 months ago, or what he did last year. You don't worry about that. You worry about the future. Where do you want your marriage to be? Because since we're being real, we had some good. Fervent sent me some questions that we were supposed to answer, but we ain't got time. We haven't got to those questions yet, because they could have helped you, but could have helped someone, but it's okay, because God saw this thing to go another way, because we prayed for this podcast before we get on any platform, even on our own. We pray how this thing's supposed to go. See, I've been sitting over here quiet, but I can't sit here quiet no more. Because Larissa, you are hurt. You sound, and I don't want to seem like I'm attacking you. I just have that.
No. I don't feel attacked at all. I don't. No, I don't. I don't feel attacked.
Okay.
Like healing, like I believe what you're talking about as far as healing, and trust me, because this person has seen me not in a position to where I was not healing. So
you need to journal. You don't need to do no more talking. You don't need to do no more talking. You don't need to let Furman know. You don't need to let Herman know. You don't need to let your girlfriend know. You need to go to the Lord in prayer and believe him and know that you're going to work. You need to journal, because journaling, and you're going to date it. You're going to put a date. So when you go back next year, September 20th, you're going to say, I was broke, but I'm healed. You're going to be able to say, I was angry, but I'm healed. You're going to be able to say, I didn't think my marriage was going to work, but I'm healed. You're going to be able to say, I was finna give up, but I'm healed because of God.
That's right.
And healing is important. And I feel what you're saying. And it is the most important thing, because that has gotten me out of so much traumatic hurt. So you are absolutely correct.
And you mentioned something about social media, right? I'm sorry, Furman, but you mentioned I've been quiet for too long. I gotta talk now. So
you done woke up.
So you mentioned something about social media, and I'm just gonna be honest, because social media is fake. Okay,
of course.
And people say, I feel like an immature person and a person that's not healed look at those things on social media, and they measure their lives to where they're supposed to
social media.
On social media.
Sure
and it's good. If you feel like you need to take a detox from social media, that's you. But
it's not me. Hold on, Furman is the same one telling me I need to get on Facebook and all this. You need to make one.
I'm just saying. I think you.
No, it's not
you were saying your husband, somebody, something about you think you felt like that's where it started or something.
That's where it started with his social media platform.
Your internet broke up.
When I talk about safety, I felt safe with this man. At this point in my life, I do not feel safe with this man. Not yet. Things have to be changed. I lost my brother, my only sibling, okay? And I think it started when he told me I needed to forget about it. I needed to stop it. And I held on to that. And you know what? And I probably shouldn't have, but I did. I mean, I am human. I am not stone. I am human. But when he told me that I needed to, forget about that, I was like, forget about what? Forget about my brother dying in front of us? And I was so... everything that he has gone through. So that hurt me 100%. That hurt me 100%.
And that's when it sounds like you checked out. And you checked out. And it's okay. Now I'm gonna tell you something. I do want you to do this. And I want you to go back. I'll send you the link to our previous podcast, because I know you say you don't click with everybody, therapist or whatever. But I highly recommend you to watch our podcast and watch this couple that's gonna be at the marriage retreat. They are they do marriage counseling, and they can do Zoom marriage counseling. I want you to watch them to see if you can vibe from them, if you can get it, because you think me and Derrick over here, as Herman said, he could tell the chemistry and stuff.
They got beautiful chemistry.
They have been married for 22 years, right? And they are both pastors. You wouldn't even be able to. They don't even put that as their title. You wouldn't even be able to know. But I would strongly suggest that, and I think it's good to go to. My dad is on here, Gregory West. That's my dad. That's my dad. I'm yeah. But and if Derrick and I need a counselor, I wouldn't go to my daddy. I'm just saying, I know he would be neutral, because he's had in a situation, before. Because his thing, I'm like, don't, if you got to put your hands on my daughter, then you need to leave. Anyway, but I'm just saying, so I just wouldn't even go.
I don't know why she brought that up.
No, because that's what he would say. I'm just saying he would be neutral. My dad would be neutral in the situation, but that's the only thing that he would say where he would be taking sides is basically where I was getting at. You know what I'm saying? That would be the only thing. But I'm saying, like, when it comes to finding someone that you know, for as therapy wise, and it's okay to feel like you can't trust nobody or whatever. But anyway, I'm just saying, I want you to see if you can connect with them, because I can guarantee you that is what triggered you. And you just gave me confirmation. I really wanted to have a session on grief at the marriage retreat, because I think when people lose a kid, a sibling, or parents, that has something to do with their marriage. And I think that would be a very good session. And if God bless me to have some people this year, if not next year, I would definitely have that. As so that was confirmation that I needed to do.
That would be great.
The name of our podcast is WCE 2014. You can find us on YouTube. Thanks for asking all the questions. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, this is awesome stuff. You know what? This is awesome because I did have questions for y'all tonight, and we didn't even get to the questions, but we know that God is in the midst of it. It is saying 2 or 3 gathered in the name, He shall be in the midst. You know, this morning, as I got up this morning, I know the scripture tells us submit our works unto Him that He may establish our thoughts. So I said, it's my prayer this morning. I said with the podcast, I submit the word to the podcast, so you establish me and Larissa's thoughts. That's his words. I remind him of his words because I want him to establish both our thoughts. And he's doing that tonight. I do believe that he's doing that because we went a whole nother direction here.
Yeah,
so
it's okay.
He's establishing everything. But somebody needs to hear this because this gonna bring forth healing, because he said, confess your faults one to another, then pray that you may be healed. So he's in the midst of doing a lot of healing, and allow him to do that healing. And this is very therapeutic because somebody need to hear this. This is for someone.
You're absolutely
correct. Because you have to remember,
because you can't lead while you bleed. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we lead and we still bleed, and we leave blood everywhere.
That's why I mean, remember, that the good Lord Himself, there's no script of God. He shoot from the hip. And
That's how He brings for
whether you want it or not. That's right. So, and that's what it's all about right there. When we have God in our lives, it makes a lot of things better. Things that we think going down, God be lifting us up at the time when we think we're going down. We never should be trying to expect something that we don't need to expect. Just go ahead and remember that He's in control of it all, and that's where we make our mistake. We think we can control things, when He's already got it controlled. I at one point there, I was sitting around wondering where some money was going to come from to do this and what I'm going to do that and do this and the other, and the check was already in the mail. I just didn't know it.
Yeah.
Right.
Money will always come.
So it's always in the mail, and we have to remember those types of things. When I lost my wife back in 2016, it felt like the world was over. That's how it felt. Because she was everything to me. And God saw fit. He loved her more than I could ever love her. You know what I'm saying? And but at the same time, I realized that where one door closes, another one opens.
And sometimes when God closes the door, and this has been my philosophy. I'm sorry, some people might disagree, but sometimes God will close doors for you, doors that are not meant to go back through. And I feel that way. Because I feel so much happier now. I feel so much freer now. Now, that doesn't mean that I'm not human. I don't have pain or I don't think about certain things. That does not mean that. But I feel so much happier now. And all I needed was just time. I really wish that the partner that I have understood that. That's all I needed to do was just understand that. I get it because everybody isn't me. I remember him telling me years ago, "Lo, just because you do one thing doesn't mean that the next person will do the same because of who you are." And that stuck with me. That resonated with me so much. It resonated with me so much. And it resonated with me especially after my brother passed away. Um, because I realized who was there and who wasn't there. But it didn't matter at that point because you know what? People who was there, they're not there anymore. Because you know what? People come in seasons. And I get it. I get it. You know?
Can I ask this too? Y'all get me out with this. The trust. You think that trust was broken there? Because when you're married, you're supposed to have a trust and a bond with each other. And I think once you get easily broken, is it hard to bounce back from that? Because it's the person that you confide in. If that makes sense, y'all hear me out with that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
Who want to go first?
I think I'll go with the fact that with my first marriage, my wife and I, we were the dream couple. I mean, nobody, none of my friends, her friends, they did not expect we would ever break up. They thought, hey, Herman and her name is Yvette. Herman and Yvette gonna be together forever. They're the dream couple. Amen. They're this and they're that and all in and the other. And I she equates it to being married too young. I was 24. She was 19 when we got married. All right. And she said, I think that I just basically was married too young. And on our ninth year of marriage, I don't want to drag nobody's name through the dirt or nothing like that. I mean, we all have our problems, all things that we do. We have to look at ourselves as the other person may have to look at themselves also. But when she basically would tell anybody, she was the one that caused the marriage to end because of what she did. So there was infidelity in the marriage, and it wasn't on my part; it was on her part. There was nothing with money. Had nothing to do. I tell you, had nothing to do with money. Had nothing to do with things at all. I mean, as far as houses and cars and all that stuff was provided for, it was just. But when you're out there and something works, when you're out there and you're trying to make something work, I tried very hard to make that marriage work, and nothing I did seemed to work in that regard.
You know what? Go ahead, Mr. Herman.
No, go ahead, because I want to hear.
I'm listening too. Cause like once again, I know that I kept hearing that you want to make it work, but it takes two willing people to make it work. Because I'm like this, and you can't make anybody be with you that don't want to be with you. I don't care how good you are. I don't care what you do. If that person don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. And even Jesus said it himself. The hardness of people's heart. If a person's heart is hard, you can't do nothing about it. So that's how I look at it. You can't make anybody be there that don't want to be there. I don't care how good you are. That go for me too.
That's right.
If a person don't want to be there, I can't make them be there. That's one thing I learned, and I heard this too. I never want to convince somebody to be here. They don't want to be here. If I have to convince you, that means you're not for me.
Right. I agree.
You should want to be here. You know what I'm saying? You should want to be here. Not saying that I have to be. I want to be here.
I agree.
And I like what Mr. West said. He said sometimes we do overthink.
He said sometimes we overthink.
Sometimes we overthink.
And you know what, Mr. West? I can tell you one thing. I overthought a lot of stuff. So you are absolutely correct. There are things that I was overthinking, but now it's completely different. I think my husband wanted me. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I felt like as if he was okay with me overthinking, but would get mad at the same time, if that makes sense. But when I finally stop overthinking about things, now it's you don't love me, or you don't care for me, or who is it? Or I'm like, what will make you think, okay, sir, I took vows to you. I made vows. There are vows that I took it doesn't matter if we are not together. That like we are together, and in the name, in the eyes of the Lord, we are together. So I would never go against my vows. Like seriously. Now, if we were to talk about, other things, I can speak on other things, but I won't. But I can just say I didn't do it. I didn't do things that would harm our vows because I didn't want that to come back. Because we might get back together. Because I don't have a situation to where I feel like, oh, it's completely over. Like I don't want that. I don't want to have that thought process. Because
all right, Larissa, I want you to call your husband and y'all make plans to be in Hoover, Alabama, so y'all can rekindle that marriage.
I would like to come to Alabama. I would like that actually.
You ain't saying that. We don't need you in Alabama. We need you in Hoover.
Yeah, we need you. We need you.
Yeah, we're gonna be real specific about this.
Yeah, be specific. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? I don't know if I can get him to come. So
yeah, you should. You need to talk to him. You need to just talk. You need to have a real talk with him and let him know, hey, I want our marriage to work. And if he tell you he don't want the marriage to work and you didn't try, give it to God. And though there are things in the Bible that that get you out of your divorce if any of those things.
So if you saying that, and I'm telling you, I've said that.
So
we're gonna leave that alone. Fermi, you got another question for us?
Yeah, because I want to talk about the trauma. I want to talk about childhood trauma, and I know a lot of times we bring in trauma into a situation. Are y'all gonna be talking about that too? Like, because the Bible said that Adam and Eve were naked; they was not ashamed. I know a lot of times we don't have these very uncomfortable conversations that make sense.
Yeah.
Where you put everything on the table, like because I listened to a show one time, and they was intimate, and it triggered something in the girl, and it triggered something in the woman, and she opened up to the person. She said, when we was in that position, a person violated me in that sexual position. We just keeping it real here. So we have a lot of people who dealt with sexual abuse, physical abuse, but never talked about it.
Yeah.
So
you'd be surprised how many women talk about it.
Because what it it's good because a lot of times this kind of stuff it needs to be talked about. It needs to be addressed to heal it. Because a lot of times the husband may think, "Is it me? I did something wrong?" Until she opened up and said, "Hey, I went through this." Maybe, but guys too, guys go through sexual abuse.
They go through it.
Yeah, and so they're afraid to confide into their wife that, hey, I was sexually assaulted at a certain age. They judge themselves, and I'm just throwing stuff out there, but judge themselves, think, oh, she gonna look at me different, she gonna judge me, she gonna belittle me. So are y'all gonna be talking about that to have these healthy conversations?
Yes, we are talking about all of that. He did say our guest speakers. We're gonna be talking about everything.
Yeah, and you know what? I say, myself being a man, I say, we talk about women being sensitive, but I really believe in my heart that men are more sensitive than women.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with matters like this right here that you talk that they touch on.
More men don't want to admit since look at it as either being gay or not strong or not powerful or not this or not that. But the fact of the matter is, if I walked up to a man right now and says, "Hey man, you stupid this and you stupid that," that man will be ready to fight me because he's so sensitive that I just did what I did. He'll be ready to knock me out. You see what I'm saying? Because we have a sensitivity that we don't like to display our sensitivity that when we're sensitive. We don't like to display it because it shows vulnerability. It shows that we're, hey, why I'm not sensitive. Who you talking about? I'm not, and that's what it is. But
Wait, I think about this. To go back to when he said my people destroy for lack of knowledge, and that's so true. He said my people destroy for lack of knowledge, but just really just going back into learning yourself. And like I said, I'm a man, and I believe that before any man gets married, he needs to learn himself first. He needs to go through some healing.
That's
He
right.
needs to learn himself first,
Right.
and because that's just like I
You
said,
need to heal first, and
right? You need to heal.
before you get married. You need to. I suggest everybody need to go through premarital counseling because people say that they don't want to go, but it's some things that that need to be talked about, and that we don't want uncomfortable conversations.
Right.
And women need to. I mean, sometimes when you go through premarital counseling, you may see some red flags that make you don't want to go into there. Like, oh no, let me go ahead and break this off. I'm sorry, I see a question. Any advice y'all have for the single people? I do have advice for the single people.
Yeah, finish the thought.
Wait. I think there was a question that says your spouse yearns for I can't see it.
Yes.
For honor.
For honor, yeah.
For honor. What's that? Who
your spouse needs and yearns.
That's just a statement. It's not a question. It's a statement.
Oh, it's a statement.
It's not a question.
Okay.
But what I was saying,
I'm sorry.
I believe, because I was saying, I'm like speaking from a man perspective. Before a man gets married, he needs to learn himself first. Let's go back to the beginning. But God prepared Adam in his purpose. Then he brought forth Eve. Because God does everything decent in order. And I just believe, like I said, I believe being a man, he learned himself first. The Bible said, love yourself, love your neighbor, you love yourself. If we have not mastered loving ourselves, it's hard for us to love our neighbor. And I know a lot of times we hear a lot of people get off, especially being single people. We allow people to influence our way I think. Oh, I got to get somebody. Oh, I got to have somebody. If you really study the Bible, Isaac didn't get married till he was 40 years old. That's in the Bible. Isaac didn't get married till he was 40 years old.
Well, Fervent, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You said that people need to learn who they are.
Yeah, I believe because if I don't know me.
What do you call learning who they are and when? I know you mentioned Isaac learning himself at 40. So in this situation within our current state, what do you mean by that?
When I say get to know yourself, learn how to take care of yourself. Learn how to have some urgency about yourself. Learn how to have some discipline by yourself. Learn how to do things for yourself. Learn how. I say little basic things. Learn how to cook.
Love yourself.
Love yourself.
Yeah.
Learn like different hobbies. Learn different hobbies. Learn different things. Just be more occupied and loving yourself. Like, what kind of life that you want to live? You know what I'm saying? What kind of life that you destined to live? So that's what I mean by learning, knowing yourself. Like, take time out. Take yourself out. Take yourself out to dinner. Take yourself out to a movie.
Exactly.
But I do believe that at some point, sometimes you could be with somebody and meet somebody that does not, and this goes back to learning each other, I guess. Definitely. Actually, no, not I guess. This goes back to learning each other. You can meet somebody who will make you feel like, okay, I'm not good enough. I'm not, maybe I'm not worth the love. Even though initially you are loved by yourself.
But what I would say
real quick, I'm sorry. But some women do not know their deserve level, and they do not, because they've been hurt. They've been in, like you said it, you didn't think it was normal for people to buy you stuff, and you just thought it was kind of weird for somebody to, earlier you said that. But a lot of women do not know their deserve level. They do not believe that they deserve for a man to treat them good. And when they do it, they're like, oh, what he got up his sleeve? Oh, he must have did something.
Makes sense.
And you don't know how to receive. Not saying you, but a lot of women don't know how to receive it. But my thing is, why don't you think, hold on, I can't get it out.
No, say it, and I'll give you an answer because I came from
I was just saying, like,
she was generalizing.
Not you, but I'm just saying, women don't. They don't.
No, you're right. You're right. You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. In my situation, I came from a family of matriarchs, and so they literally did everything by themselves. So when I met my husband, it felt weird asking him for anything. It was so weird. I was like, asking him for a bag of Pampers for our daughter. It felt weird to me because I was like, oh no, I can do it. I can do it. Like, why would I have to ask him? Even though I know I should have asked him. But for me, because of how I was raised, I know that I could have done it. I know I could have done it because that's how I was taught. And that goes back to the family structure. Now, don't get me wrong. My grandparents were there. I grew up in a 2-parent household, but still, it was something about the ladies in my family that just was, they did everything by themselves. And I think that really rubbed off on me. And so I had to realize, it was something that Furman and I just recently talked about too, not too long ago. I said, I got to get that out of my head because I think that is one of the main reasons why my husband felt the way he felt.
Because I was going to ask you, how has that been working out in your relationship? Because do you think that is a complementary element to your relationship, with you being so strong-minded, so strong-willed about wanting to have things go the way that you want them to go?
That was prior to us getting married. Yeah. But when we got married, it became something different, and it was more of half and half type of thing. It was, I would be your helpmate, you would be mine. And I realized that it's never such a thing as 50-50. I might only be able to give you 20%, and you gotta front the 80%, or vice versa.
Well, I think that's, to me, that's problematic. I think that, to me, that's problematic because
and I only have to do myself.
I think you have to, it's just like, I look at it like a sports team, right? Be a star in your role. So it's you giving 100% in your role, and him giving 100% in his role as a man, and being complimentary to one another. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So that way, it's 100. Both of us get 100%. I'm bringing all I can bring to this relationship. I'm doing everything I can to make this marriage work, and you're bringing everything that you can to make this marriage work. And we and constantly communicating with one another to find ways to make our relationship with each other as best as we possibly can.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right, and I believe that you're right.
Because if it requires allowing him to feel like a man, then sometimes that's what's required. That's what's necessary.
Right. I think because he allowed me not to, like when it came to vehicles, when it came to negotiations, when it came to so many things within our relationship, he had no problem. He had no problem with me doing it. So I did it. And I think that's where it came from. I think that's kind of where it started from, to tell you the truth. Herman, am I wrong?
I'm gonna say this here. I've been knowing Lo a long time, and before she got married, me and Keisha, that was my wife's name that passed. We always in the relationship, because you don't want to really say nothing whenever you see something going on, because you feel like you're not, that's not your place. Right. So we kind of kept our mouths closed about a lot of things. but we used to always think to ourselves while we weren't around Lo and her husband. We always felt like Lo was the leader in the relationship. We used to always feel that she was the one that, and that it was her, not necessarily power, but her stamina, her drive to make everything good for her and her family, and she supported the relationship, I think, to a point where it became a lot of overwhelmingness, if that's a word, for her, because she was dealing with being the backbone of the relationship, more or less. And I think that's where she ran into a lot of issues, because after so long, this man became, I think, agitated by the fact that she was considered the leader of the relationship instead of him being the leader of the relationship. And other people noticed that and they saw that. We saw it, but we didn't say nothing. We kept our mouths closed because it's not our place to say anything. So we just kind of shut up about it. Now we came along later and said, hey, look, from all the years that you've been married to Damien, I've always saw him as a great guy. I've never said anything negative to her about him. You can ask. I mean, right now, I refuse to say something negative about a husband.
Hey, hold that. Hey, excuse me on that. Hey, let's hold on that one. Let's hold on that one. So we don't want to go deep off into it.
Right.
And stuff like that, because we are on social media. You gotta watch what we say, because people take stuff and chop it up. The thing is, bashing is not bashing at all. That makes sense.
Right.
Yeah, so we don't want to get caught up in that.
No,
but I want to get
by no means. Like, and I will say, I was sick just recently. When I tell you, this man took care of me, he was there night and day. He came to my rescue. Like, I was so sick. I was so sick, y'all. I did not know what was going on. But when I tell you, he was there every single freaking day.
As he should be. I mean, as your husband, through sickness and health.
Right.
I mean, but we're separated. But a lot of people don't look at it that way. But to me, he's still my husband. I look at him as my husband. And he was there 100%. Anytime I've gone to the hospital, he was there. He has been there. Whenever it comes to our children, our grandkids, he's there. He's 100% there. So I will never, ever take that from him. Ever take that from him. The problems between him and I, that's just problems between him and I. And that's nothing that I really feel like there's nothing, like, I really feel like this, like the crap that we have been going through is so minute, like it's so small in the big scheme of things.
Larissa, let me tell you this. There's nothing too hard for God. Again, I'm gonna tell you like this, and I don't want you to feel like I'm dismissing what you're saying, but I want you to know this, and I'm gonna go back to what I said. Bless you. And I'm gonna go back to what I said. If you want your marriage to work, believe that it's gonna work, and expect a change. Go into prayer. You may have to fast. You may have to do some fasting. You may have to just do some things that you haven't done. And again, and it seems like you probably have brought your family into these things. There may have been some things that was
no, I have not.
Okay, there may have been some things that was said that you can't take back, because words hurt, and those things that you can't take back. And y'all, we have thoroughly enjoyed this podcast. This was our very, very first podcast being on someone else's platform. And Fervent, I really appreciate you having us on, and even the connection on how we even got here. You know what I mean? That's the power of networking. Like, I really appreciate all of that. We would love to be back on if you would like for us, you know what I'm saying? To be back on. I want to answer this question.
Maybe we can get into them questions that you got for us.
Yeah, what I said.
I do want to answer this question right here. So
go ahead.
Any more books or other endeavors we can expect maybe in 2026? from you and Derrick.
Yeah.
So we do have, a marriage retreat is going to be a yearly thing.
Yeah.
The marriage retreat for next year is October the 15th through the 18th. We are going to do a destination reveal soon, so we're not letting y'all know where it's going to be, but we do have the dates, and we will have
15th to the 18th. You say
15th through the 18th, okay. And we will have this time we're only going to have like two sessions, but the next year we are going to have at least four or five sessions. We're gonna even I'm not gonna tell it all, but I do know that within planning this one for this year, because this is our very first one, it will not be as big as the one next year, but you know what? It's still going to be good. And we are accepting sponsors. If you, however that looks to you, whatever that looks like. So, yeah.
Well, remember, Mr. and Mrs. You already have Furman's number. Get my number as well. Yes. We are in this together. We are partners in this here. And God, look, because we want everybody to we want everybody to learn from these experiences. This is the whole purpose.
I'm learning myself.
The whole purpose. Yes, I'm going to one of those retreats.
Yes.
There we go.
Eat those things that be as they were.
Guess what? I'm still going.
But you know what?
You gotta have a spouse now.
I'm still going.
It's a marriage retreat.
It's a marriage retreat. You gotta eat.
Speak those things that be as they were, man. You gotta speak those things into existence. So our words have power. Speak those things that be as they were.
I mean, I'll try to get him to go because his job. I don't know. If
that's why you already know a year ahead of time. That way you're gonna go ahead and put those dates in.
Yeah, he got off days. He don't work 365 days a week now. A year now.
That's right.
No, you just don't know this man. This man literally have perfect attendance. He might be late to every single thing. But he has and they pay him for it, so he's gonna get that money.
He's incentivized to be later.
But you know what? I will try to convince him to go. And you were absolutely correct. We should have did marriage counseling and not just any type of marriage counseling. No.
You definitely need a God-filled marriage counselor.
Yes, that's what I need.
You need someone that look like you that can understand you.
Thank you. Because what I don't need is somebody telling me, because the last counselor we went to was a woman who said, okay, the first thing she said out of her mouth was, okay, well, we're going to talk about the issues you guys are going through. And I want you guys to explain why you're going through it. And talk about how it has made you feel. She allowed him to talk about it. When I talked about it, she said, why are you talking about it? I said, ma'am, you just said we were going to talk about it. This is why I'm talking about it.
Yeah, we don't even want to go to her no more. Mark her out.
No. That was the last time I went. That was the last time. He was like, you blew it up. You ruined everything. I was like, oh, okay. Well, because she wasn't the right one. She wasn't the right one. So you know what? That was a blessing. So take that as a blessing.
I'm going. Can I? And then the Bible say this, and then people refer to ministry too. But you look at it as a marriage. The Bible said, without a vision, the people perish. You gotta have a vision for marriage, and we don't have a vision for marriage at all. We just get off into she look good, he look good. I'm just having a general conversation,
right?
But we don't have a clear-cut vision on what we want our marriage to be. I do believe in marriage can be successful. We can have a vision. The Bible says, without a vision, the people perish, and that's when we need to get a vision on this thing, on the different stage that we want to go into, from the dating stage, marriage stage, raising children stage to the grandparent stage. Just getting that clear-cut vision, because God, he do everything decent and order. We kingdom people. We don't move like the world. We don't think like the world. We got to move differently. So I do believe that in my own little world. But just getting that vision. And I look at it, Lord, That's learning. This is learning. This is growing. We all involved.
It is learning.
And to have fun in the process. Have fun with the process of growing.
Yes,
of evolving.
it is. It's learning.
There's no blueprint on marriage. Everybody married.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
But everybody has gone through some of the same things, I'm sure, and that's what the marriage retreat is. We all gonna come together, put our heads together, and we're gonna learn from each other.
That's it. Learn as you go.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful.
And exciting.
Thank you guys for. I don't know how. Yeah, the time is what the time.
Yeah,
now?
It's
10:11 here.
Yeah, we about to get to wrap it up.
So sorry. So it's not 11 here, but thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. You gave us great information.
We sure hope so.
Hey, the retreat will be successful.
Thank you. Okay? We received that. We received
manifesting that. God is saying that retreat will be successful. Okay, we will be there. And my husband there. Let me call him right now. Let me call him right now. Right there. You think I'm playing? I'm supposed to call him right now. And it's gonna be Alabama, right?
Hoover, Alabama. Look, if you on Facebook, just go ahead and look me up, and then we can connect. And I
sent her your Facebook page. I sent it over. I'll forward it over.
Information. If there's any way you can post that right here, that way we can have viewers that are able to, because I believe you're able to do it.
Oh, got a question.
Love or lust?
Is it love or lust?
Oh no, darling. He's the first man I've ever loved, and will be the only man that I've ever loved. Period. Period. I don't know if you're talking about me, but I could talk about myself. He's the only one that I've ever loved, Mr. Gregory. But listen, everything is gonna work out. I can't wait. This is gonna be so wonderful. I'm excited.
Well, stay
up. Look, I'm writing this down like old school too.
It's all good. I know about to get it. Yeah, because I know about to get to wrap it on up. Because we do appreciate y'all taking time. I got the schedule. I know it's y'all hour ahead of us, so I know.
Yeah.
So, but before we get into part, because I'm about to go to the movies.
You have a great time at the movies.
I will. Before we get ready to part, do y'all have any words of advice, any signs of wisdom I will leave here as we live stream and then also watching in the future?
Yes, thank you guys for joining the Just Saying podcast. As always, like I said again, thank you. Thank you.
I just want to echo the kind of the theme of what my wife been saying all along today, that anybody who's wanting to be married, in a relationship, anything that you do, make sure that you put God at the center of it all.
Always.
You know what I mean? No matter what it is that you're doing, any endeavor that you're trying to partake in life, man, put God at the center of everything that you do. I don't care if there's somebody who's trying to run them streets or whatever you're doing. Put God at the center of all that you do, man. Whatever thing you out there doing, don't leave God out of it, because all of us need God. We can't do nothing without him.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes. And in the meantime, between time, if you would like to learn more about us, just look us up on Facebook. We change everything. Our YouTube channel, please go like, share, subscribe, comment, all the things we have. We are new. We are learning this thing.
Yes.
So, and that is at WCE 2014. All righty. Until next time, thanks again for having us. We appreciate it. Bye.
Have a blessed night.
Y'all too.
You said you love me. Now I know what love is. Ain't nobody stop your love. 'Cause you know me. On my hopes, on my fears, still you chose. but yet you still love me. Now I know what love is. Ain't nobody stop your love. Stop your love. You know me. All my hopes and all my fears. Still you chose me. I'm in love. I'm in love. If you turn your back on him, he's still on your side. Always keep it real with you and that's no lie. Won't give up the fight, I know I'ma survive. Now I got God on my side, God on my side. I was down and he got me up. On the ground, no faith, I thought I was stuck. Now the devil see us winning and we got him shook. You know it's our season, we gon' run it up. Gotta love my sister and love my brother. Cause in this world, it teaches us we gotta love each other. Really absurd. If we can't look beyond each other's colors, we should prefer to show love for one another. We need to come together. Now I know